Hi everybody, welcome. We're going to do a little stretch and flexibility today. 30-minute workout, 10 minutes standing, 10 minutes seated, then the last 10 minutes on the floor. So you can stop after 20 if you prefer not to do floor stretches. So you will want a chair or a countertop or something you can use to hold on to for assistance if you need it, a mat if you're going to work on the floor, and a little bit of water for hydration. Let's go ahead and begin with our feet under our hips. We're going to rock those toes forward and back. Now this is very gentle. If you need that chair for balance, I want you to focus on the movement, the flexibility, not so much trying to train for anything specific like balance, although that will come in nice and handy. So this is my second attempt at this video because the mailman decided to show up at the beginning of the last time I started this, and I just decided to do a whole do-over here. All right, it's a beautiful sunny day, a little chilly, middle of April. It's been over a year that I've been doing these videos. So thank you for watching them, using them. I hope they've been helpful. All right, let's settle our feet down, soften those knees, pelvic tuck, draw that belly in towards the spine. Let's start to move those shoulders up, down, and back. Keep your breath nice and even, and let's take those shoulders forward. The breath will work with a lot of the moves, meaning inhale on one, exhale on the other, but just breathe evenly. Let's inhale, arms up. Don't worry too much about any one thing. Do everything to the best of your ability. If something doesn't work for you, we can do a shorter range of motion, or you could repeat another stretch we just did. Inhale, arms up. Now let's see if we can lace those fingertips at the top. Soften the shoulders down, elbows a little soft, just a little teeny tilt. So I'm a nice silhouette here against my window in the dining room. Little circle moving back and forth. I did have a little mini makeover in my living room, dining room. So I have now soft blue colors all the way throughout my first floor. I'm loving it. Let's come back into center. Now if we can, see if you can reach those arms just a little bit back and then release the hands down. Stepping out our feet 10 and 2. Let's start a little sliding side to side lunge. We're gonna get that left hand ready. We're gonna reach it over and pull it back down. So if your shoulders are tight, you might wanna reach more straight up and then work on reaching slightly over, a little bit towards the ear. Let's hold the next one. Just hold it, turn outwards a little bit. Spread those fingers, wiggle them, and release. Let's take it to the left and right. Start with your sliding side to sliding side to side lunge. Boy, you can tell that I haven't done a video for a while. I'm all tongue-tied. Let's hold the next one. See if we can turn outward just a little bit. Wiggle those fingers. Bring the arms up. Now we'll inhale both arms up. Support the hands just below the hips. We're gonna hinge back slightly, bend the knees like we're gazing right over the edge of a cliff. And then come back up and stand. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, getting ready for support. And then we hinge. This is long spine. So that means our upper backs are pulling together nicely through those shoulder blades. Abdominals are pulling gently in and back towards the spine. And let's do this one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge, and roll up. All right, let's walk those feet on in. I'm gonna give myself a little slow kick in the rear. Remember that chair or countertop may be nearby if you ever need it. So I'm flexing my foot right now, bringing that heel up as close as I can. My hamstring curl probably looks a little different than yours. Now let's try a little step knee. Let's bring that forward. An option here might be a toe tap front. Let's check in with our posture, roll those shoulders down and back. So these are very slow moving. This is not a cardio warm-up, it's range of motion. Now I'm going to use that chair for a second. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to take this knee, hip, circle it out, circle it in. So this could be small, closer to the floor, if that feels more comfortable. Just opening up, moving throughout that hip region. You see a lot of action in the knee, but it's really up in our hip, and we'll just do one more. All right, let's change sides. So if you need to, you'll need to hold on over here. I'm just gonna step a little bit away from my chair. So I circle tap back and circle tap front. Remember the option, keep it low to the floor. Opening out and back and bringing it in and forward. Let's do one more. And bring that in. Now feet apart, make sure you are clear of your chair, and we're just gonna do a little arm swing and a little movement side to side with your body. If you prefer, anchor the lower body, keep the feet grounded, and just turn at the waist. Make sure if you're gonna turn the whole body and add that lower pivot, that your back foot does not have weight in it. You're gonna need to shift your weight side to side, so that's why we are going nice and slow, giving you time to make sure that's done before you would twist through that lower body. And let's do one more to each side, and then come back into center. Hands on hips, feet wide, soft knees, hip circles around. And then we will go the other way. Finishing up one more. Let's go ahead and step those feet in under the hips. Inhale, arms out. And exhale, arms down. Nice. All right, let's get ready to start. We'll do quadricep hip flexors first. So I'm gonna have the chair over here under my right hand. I'm gonna tap back or step back with that left leg. Feet are apart, side to side. Back heel lifted, and I'm gonna lower down and then raise up. Now as I come down, I want us to squeeze those gluteal muscles in back so we open up the front of that hip. Moving very slowly. We're gonna hold this one at the bottom. That might be halfway. And then I'm gonna do a big side bend over towards that chair, bring the arm down and straighten up through both knees. Let's do that again. I'm gonna sit down, whatever feels comfortable for you. Add that tilt. Open the arm and stand up. Let's do one more. So you might notice you are getting a little balance and stability work here. Open and stand up. Let's take that back foot toe heel down. If you can, give a quick little glance back. Make sure your toe is forward if you can. So I'm pulling that body weight forward and up, but my heel is staying down. I'm just gonna hold that calf stretch. Take your left arm, circle up and back. Slowly moving through your full range in your shoulder, reversing. Come back, finishing to the front. One more time each direction. Now I'm gonna have you bring that back foot in just a little bit. Shift your body weight so it is centered over the front and back foot. You're gonna bend the back knee just a little bit. Pelvic tuck. Take this arm forward. We're gonna open out to the side, squeeze behind you, and sweep. Gently across without turning. Open, and sweep across. Bring those feet together. Still working on that left leg. So we're gonna take that heel forward. Hand is on the chair. We're gonna sit back with our tailbone. Chest is gonna pull forward. Tailbone pulls back. Roll those shoulders down and back. Stand up, push that left toe down. Big inhale, exhale, hinge back again. So this is a more upright stretch for the hamstring area. We're gonna do one more, then I'm gonna show you a variation that will use the chair, but is a little more advanced. So you can try it, or you can stay right here. So I'm gonna face the chair. I'm gonna take that left foot so it is in front of my right. My feet are in a scissor position, and I'm gonna bend at my hips, keep my chest forward, and then open up. So this is a modified version of what we call the pyramid pose in yoga. My hips are gonna stay square and level. And I'm gonna bend forward as long as I can keep my back neutral. I'm not going to round my upper back to get closer to my chair. Let's do one more. And open up. Let's turn back to the front. Let's start with your left toe forward. Turning out at the hip, then bring that ankle across the front. You might find you want to stay here. You might find you can bring that ankle up above your knee. Rotating outward in that left hip, knee pointing down, and I'm gonna reach back with my tailbone. Again, you'll hear me say this over and over. Tailbone reaches back, chest pulls forward. Avoid rounding through the upper back unless that is the area we are trying to lengthen and stretch. Now I'm gonna stand up for a second, point that left knee down, inhale, exhale, sit back again. Inhale, we'll do one more. Exhale, sit back. Let's hold this one for a little extra breath. And then come on up. All right, we're gonna just move the chair to the other side. We're gonna do that whole series with the other leg. Light fingertips if you need them. We're gonna start with the hip flexor quadricep stretch. So the right toe is back, feet are apart. We're gonna lower down. I want you to find the position where you can feel the stretch. So we squeeze the gluteal, front of the hip opens, shoulders are aligned over our hips. Let's just do a couple of slow, lowering and lifting. So see if you can get the knee down enough that you can feel that stretch. It is about squeezing that gluteal behind to open the front. Now let's hold this one down, whatever position you find suits you, and then we'll do that overhead side bend, release the arm, and come back up to standing. Bending, arm up, and reaching over towards the chair. And straighten. Might start to feel a little work going on. Stretch and strength are not mutually exclusive. If you stretch one part, you're probably contracting the other, the opposite muscle group. Let's reach that over. Okay, we'll come on up now, toe heel back, we move into the calf stretch and a little upper body. So we kind of shift that weight all forward and up in a nice full body lean. That heel is down, take a quick glance back, see if your toes are forward. And then we are going to just take a big circling arm at our shoulder as we hold the calf stretch down. And then reverse, bring it forward. And we'll do that again. One more. Now we're going to change the calf muscle that we're kind of targeting here. Walk the feet in a little bit. Still on two separate lines. Bend both knees. Make sure the shoulders shift back now over the hips. And we're going to take the arm out from the side. So this is a target for that muscle that connects towards the Achilles tendon. So we have soleus, it's the big one we see sometimes. And then the gastrocnemius, which comes out from underneath. And I hope I'm not saying that backwards. That would be really embarrassing. All right, let's lower that down. And let's move into the hamstring option. So right heel, oh no, now the Amazon, oh thank God it went by. Like I don't really think I'm getting anything today, right? But they'll still work. So I'm gonna open up and just gently press that right toe. Ooh, can't even see my toes, can ya? And then we'll hinge back. I think I moved my chair forward a little bit. and then we'll come up again. Let me move this back. Keep going. Stay with me here. Oh no, I'm so sorry, but you know what? There's like no way to stop this. This is what chihuahuas do. They bark at everything and everybody. All right, one more here. Now, you know that that is an option. I'm going to turn into the back of the chair. You're going to keep that right foot forward and the left foot back. Make sure the feet are apart, left to right. Support on your fingertips on the back of that chair. Draw the shoulders down and back and bend only at your hips. Think of reaching the chest forward. And then open up. Big inhale at the top. Exhale, we hinge at the hips. Think about gently pulling those shoulder blades together in the upper back and then down as if we were to tuck them into our back pockets. At the bottom, if you're choosing pyramid or this more upright hamstring, hips need to be level side to side as much as possible. Otherwise, that less flexible hip is just going to rotate outward. It's a little bit of a cheat position. So when you come down, imagine the hips are the top of the fishbowl. And that water, it's not like a Dr. Seuss book where it's sloshing all over side to side. It is perfectly calm and flat. Let's do one more here. I love the pyramid pose. This is a nice way to work towards that. Nice. Okay, let's turn front. So we've got our last standing, and it is the pigeon pose for the outer hip. Begin by pointing that right toe forward and rotate out at the hip. Now, option A, you can tuck that foot right in at the base of your ankle, or you can bring it up above the knee. Don't place it directly on the knee, either below or above. Roll those shoulders down, abdominals pull in, and I'm going to reach back with my tailbone and forward with my chest, and I'm going to flex that foot. So I always recommend be conservative. You know, if we are doing these very slow-paced dynamic stretches, which means we are moving in and out of a position, don't rush. And if we're doing multiples, like 3 or 4 chances, then start smaller. If that feels okay, go deeper. If that feels okay, go deeper. And then we will do one more, and this one, we're gonna try to take an extra breath while we hold our stretch. Let's take a second to check in with our posture. Roll those shoulders up, down, and back, tuck them into our back pockets. And our chest pulls forward. Think long spine, maybe tuck the chin back slightly so it doesn't jet forward. And then we will come on up slowly, point that knee down, and release. Okay, let's get a sip of water here. We are going to move into part 2, which is seated stretches. Now, seated stretches, it's a great way to increase your range of motion. It's not a way to make them easier. It makes them more accessible, if that makes sense. So if you do not like floor stretches and standing stretches, you just can't hold them long enough to really feel like you're getting a lot of benefit, the chair is perfect as an option. So we're gonna start with the quadricep stretch again. We're gonna do a chair supported quad stretch. So I'm gonna turn to the right. This leg behind me, that knee can either be underneath or it can be behind. Got this hand on the back of that chair, and here's where I'm gonna focus strictly on squeezing that left gluteal, nice and tight, pushing it right into the back of that hip. Shoulder up over the hip, nice and long and tall. And we're actually gonna do the same stretch we did standing. So we're gonna take that left arm out to the front. You're gonna sweep it over towards the back of your chair. Open it out. Take your inhale here if you can. Exhale as you sweep that arm over your ear towards the back of your chair. Let's do this one more time. And release. Float that hand all the way down. Now I'm gonna face the corner of the chair. We're gonna get inner thighs. So I'm gonna gently walk those feet out. So I'm gonna plie, right? And I'm gonna gently press. Let's go ahead and dip that back shoulder, which should be your right, in towards the center. And as I do that, I'm gently pressing open that right side. And then come on in, shift the shoulder over. So we didn't get these standing. They're very hard to get standing. But here in the chair, it's perfect. And how many of us can do a straddle on the floor? So this is a great option. All right, let's come on in. Now I don't find hamstrings particularly effective here, but I would show you how you would do it. So you would take that right heel forward, sit up nice and tall, roll those shoulders down, support, and hinge. If you're feeling safe, you can reach down towards that toe. You could even hold on to the side of your chair. And then come on up. So that would be just like for demo purposes. So I'm gonna actually move into single knee stretch. So I'm gonna tuck those abdominals in, lengthening the spine, tucking the tailbone under. And it's also a great time to just do a little ankle circle, a little flex and extend, and then a little eversion and inversion where you tip that sole of your shoe outside and inside. And then let's release. Going into the pigeon next. So you can be down here, you can bring it up top. Sit tall, roll those shoulders down, flex the foot, big inhale. Exhale, remember, be conservative. This feels much different than the standing version for sure. This, you will definitely feel the stretch more. Sit back up tall, inhale, and exhale, hinge. Inhale, let's do one more, and we'll hold this one for an extra breath. You want to feel mild tension, and that's all. We don't ever want to feel pain in a stretch. Back off if you do. And then open that up. Let's release that foot down. So let's do that series the other direction. So we'll turn to our left. Left leg is forward. The right hip and knee are either aligning top to bottom. If you can, wiggle that foot back. Shoulders over hips. Hold on to the back of the chair. So we start to squeeze that right glute so that it gently moves in towards the back of that hip. The hip will open. Let's begin our arm out to the front. Inhale. Exhale, sweep that arm over the ear. Inhale, open the arm back out. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, open. And exhale, sweep. And open. Let's repeat the inner thigh because we didn't get an opportunity to do that standing. So we'll give it a second chance here. So we open, it's comfortable to sit towards the corner of the chair rather than the front. Roll those shoulders down, and we're gonna dip that back shoulder in, and as I do that, I'm gently opening that inner thigh with my hand above the knee. Come on up, inhale, exhale, other side. Now we will do this standing sometimes at the end of cardio, but you can just get the inner thighs open and stretched more when we're seated. And then come on in. Let's close that back foot to the front. One demo for the hamstring stretch. Sitting tall, you're a little bit towards that front edge. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Inhale, supporting hands below the fold of the hips, and hinge forward, chest pulling forward. If you feel safe, reach for the toe. You can use that chair holding on gently on the side of the chair. And then come on up. All right, let's move into that seated pigeon. Remember the option is your toe is down and you're gonna still rotate outward in that left hip or bring that leg all the way up, ankle resting, just above the knee. Flex the toes, sit nice and tall, roll those shoulders down and back. I can hold on to the sides of my chair. Inhale, exhale, hinge. Remember, we're doing about 4 of these, so you can progressively move deeper into your hinge. If you have one side that is tighter than the other, you want to make sure you take care of that and honor that limitation that you have. Okay, one more time, and this one will hold in your mild tension position for an extra breath. And release on up. Nice job. Now, let's do that knee stretch. I kind of forgot about this until just now. So this is another great one to do in a chair. We pull the belly in towards the spine, lengthen that tailbone, but we're still in good posture. So we're gonna do a couple ankle circles, flex and point that foot, and then we kind of turn the foot outward and inward. This one's a little bit harder, this eversion, inversion move. a little bit harder to move that direction because we don't do it very often on purpose. All right, let's place that down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Shoulders roll up, down, and back. Seated nice and tall, just feet are flat on the floor. We're gonna do a little spinal twist. So we reach, hand outside that front right knee. I can reach onto the back of my chair. Sitting as tall as you can, turn and look over your shoulder. Come back in through center and go to the other side. Again, reposition your posture every time you change positions, because it might just relax a little bit when you move from one side to the next. And then come back into center. So I'm gonna reach gently back, sides of the chair, roll my shoulders up, down, and back. I'm gonna take an inhale. I'm gonna exhale, hinge at the hips. Now I'm not pulling on the chair. I'm anchoring my fingers around the sides of the chair and then pulling forward till I feel that position of mild tension. If you have sensitive shoulders, move very mindfully through that stretch. So I'm gonna come back, inhale, sit tall, and then exhale, hinge, chest reaching straight forward. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, and hinge. And sit tall. Let's do another inhale breath here. Exhale, arms down, shoulder rolls up, down, and back. All right, let's grab a sip of water right here. And we're gonna go ahead and move to the floor stretching at this point. I'm gonna come up, just make sure my time, yeah, we're really close to the end here. So if you were preferring just standing and seated, great job today. You showed up and that's all that matters. If you would like to do some floor work here, we'll just do a few stretches using the, we're gonna use the chair for one of them. So what we'll do, so I'm gonna lay my mat on the floor. I'm gonna have my chair at the end of it. So I'm gonna do a great low back stretch. It's a very passive stretch, so it's very nice. Meaning, you're just resting, kind of, in a certain position using your chair. So I'm gonna anchor the chair. Now, take your time getting down to the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and move into the stretch position. For those of you that can get down a little bit quicker, please take your time. And I'm going to scooch my rear end towards that chair. Place my lower legs onto the seat of the chair. Now I'm gonna roll myself down. If I can, I'm going to bring my knees so they're over my hips. And I can do that just by pulling my heels forward. I don't have to move the chair. Now, I want you to lengthen the spine. We're doing that by pulling the abdominal wall in, relaxing the shoulders. Make sure we feel those outside edges of our shoulders, outside edges of our arms relaxed on the mat. And then relax to neutral back position. So that will probably give you a little space underneath your low back and between the mat. Now I'm going to inhale again. I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to try to flatten my spine into my mat. I'm not working really hard to make this happen right here. Just pulling that belly in softly. And then release. See if you can walk your heels in a little closer towards your gluteals. So maybe I'm a little tighter at my hips. Maybe lift and lower, lengthen that spine out, and let's do the same thing. So we will inhale. Exhale, pull the abdominal wall gently towards the floor. Relax your shoulders and arms. And then just release. Let that pelvis tip, whatever feels natural for you. Inhale and lengthen. We'll do one more. Inhale, exhale, and lengthen. Now I'm going to use the chair for hamstring. So I'm going to keep this back leg, should be your right if you have the same orientation as I do. And I'm going to take that left leg and open that up behind the knee. The most important thing here that we can do is straighten behind the knee. So if that means I have to back that foot farther away from me to straighten, that's what I'm going to do. It is also helpful to create a more effective stretch to flex the foot. But maybe for now, you have a softly bent knee, maybe the foot's relaxed, but you can feel the stretch through the hamstring. You'll also feel it in the gluteal. So now we breathe evenly. Sometimes if you want to think of or imagine that you inhale and you exhale relaxation into the muscle we are trying to stretch. So we're going to breathe relaxation into that hamstring. And let's place that foot down. Let's go to the other side. Open behind the knee. You're going to find the position that is going to give you the feeling of tension, mild tension, in the back of your right thigh. It's your back leg. Straighten behind the knee. Then you can start to move that thigh closer towards your rib cage. If you get to a place where you have to soften the knee, I want you to back up a little bit. Try it again. Get to that place where you are straight behind the knee, maybe even able to flex your foot. And you feel mild tension. Relax your shoulders into the mat. Soften your jaw. And let's go ahead and bend that down. Now this might be a little challenging, but we're gonna take those feet off. We're gonna sit up. I'm going to turn and face you. You can push that chair maybe out of the way. And let's take a one-leg seated straddle. So this is, again, hitting the hamstring area, but also inner thighs. So we're going to open the leg out. For some of us, it might be, 10 after or 5 after if we were facing a clock. Shoulders roll down. I'm going to walk those hands forward. So my chest is reaching forward center. The leg is positioned out and off to the side. Again, hinging at the hip, chest pulling forward, keeping our posture in the upper back, and getting to that place where you feel mild tension. We're gonna come on up. So I'm now gonna turn the torso, facing that leg, walk those hands down. Again, feeling the place of mild tension. If you find you're holding your breath, you might be trying to go too deep in your stretch. So maybe come up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and bring that on up. Now, switching sides, we'll tuck your left foot in, right leg extends out, kneecap is on top, roll those shoulders down, and we're gonna gently walk hands forward. Chest reaching forward, tailbone down, flexing that right foot to enhance the feeling of stretch in your hamstring. So we're trying to feel both inner thigh lengthening and hamstring at the same time here. Glutes stay down. You'll always find one side is more of a challenge. This is my side right here. And then we'll come up. Now we're going to rotate our torso towards that leg, hinge again at the hips. And walk those hands out. I'm not going very far. We want to make sure we keep that opposite hip down and this leg opened outward. And then let's come on up. So I'm going to come to easy seated cross position. That feels comfortable for me. If it doesn't for you, you can certainly just sit with your legs extended in front of you. So let's finish with some nice upper body stretches. Seated twist. This is another one I really like to do on the chair because you can push on the outside edge of that leg and reach behind for the chair. Let's come on up, inhale, exhale, and switch. And come back into center. Take the hands, lace our fingers, or just maybe be able to touch. Draw the shoulders down. I'm going to gently pull the hands away from my lower back and lift up my heart. And release the hands. Four-way stretch. This is a great upper body combination. Make sure you have space on either side here. Fingers spread wide. I'm going to draw the shoulder blades together behind me with an inhale.
I'm gonna exhale, think opening the upper back, not rounding the shoulders. So I'm squeezing through the chest in front of my shoulders. Now I'm gonna inhale, open. We call these prisoner arms. Expand and open.